So a friend of mine has an elderly dog, and when it goes up the stairs it tends to fall down the stairs. So he's asked me to make a dog stopper, which is basically a guard to stop the dog going up and down the stairs. So if you carry on watching, I'll show you how I made it. So this is a really simple project, probably one of the simplest I've ever made. I've got a bit of 6mm MDF, it was left over from another job. Just cut it down on my table saw. If you're making one for yourself, you don't have to use a table saw, you could use a handsaw, a jigsaw, track saw would be good. So there's the main body of the piece, and then just cutting down this little piece to make the feet. Just 2 little feet. You can see there how cold it was in the workshop, it was freezing. So all there is 3 pieces. So I'm using the insert from my router table just to draw a round over to knock off the corners, so that just there's no sharp corners on the piece. I'm just working out the centre of the foot and then marking 3mm either side of that centre mark, just so I can create a slot that's just over halfway down the foot. Square it down, then use one piece to mark up the other piece, easier than measuring again. And I'll do the same to the main body of the piece. Just round over the corners. And I'm just finding the centre and just squaring a line up. That's just so I can centralise the bone. So I found a picture of a bone on the internet, printed it off, cut it out of a piece of paper, centralised it. I'm just trying to get it parallel here to the top of the board. And just quickly scribble around it. Now I'm marking out a 6mm slot either side for the feet, and again the height is just over half the height of the foot, and just square it off. So in this trend router cutter set there happens to be a 6mm cutter, which is the exact size of the 6mm MDF to make this slot, a very snug fit. So much so I didn't use any glue to glue it together, so it can come apart if need be. So I've just set it up in the router table and cut a slot with the mitre gauge. Now I've shut the router down here. I don't like pulling it back through just in case it snatches, so it's safer just to feed it through and then shut the router down, let it stop completely, then lift the workpiece off. And the same again with the main body of the piece. I'm not using the mitre guide here though. So I'm clamping it down to the bench with a couple of scraps underneath, just so I don't drill right through the bench. and I'm using a 50mm Forstner bit just to drill out the bone basically. Just makes a neater job than jigsawing it. Typical, you go to do a job and the battery dies on you. So I'm just jigsawing out the rest of the bone shape. So the bone shape actually makes a really good handle as well. It just fits in the hand nice. Just clean up the shape, a little bit of sandpaper, bit of 150, and again just knock off the corners just so there's no sharp edges, and just clean it up with a bit of sandpaper. So I've put the 2 feet together here so I can cut through both of them at the same time, just be a bit quicker. My nice new trend orbital sander, cordless 18 volt, does a quick job of sanding all the MDF up. Now I don't know whether this is getting painted or left or varnished or what, so I'm sanding it up anyway, and then just knocking all the sharp edges off, take the arris off, and the feet just simply slip into the slots, and it's a very nice snug fit. They won't come out of there in a hurry. So no glue required. And there it is done. So that was a really easy project to do, but hopefully it will save the little dog. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.